Hi everybody, it's Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this blue hat right here. It's actually pretty cool looking. Now, I would consider an intermediate pattern because of the stitches that you use, but I think a beginner can do it. You know, you do need to know how to do a single crochet, a double crochet, front post double crochet, and back post single crochet. Those are all the stitches that are involved in this hat. Now this hat is sized for a small adult, so probably about 20 inches. I'll show you where you can make it bigger for like 21 to 22 inch size head, and it's approximately 7.5 inches long. Of course, you can make it longer if you choose. So what do you say? You want to go ahead and get started on it? I think the texture is pretty cool in it, actually. And you know what? I think it's even cooler when you flip it inside out. I think it looks neat like that too. Look at the wrong side. That's pretty neat. I would wear it either way, actually. But let's go ahead. Here's the right side. So let's go ahead and get started on this thing. Okay, so for this project, I am using Plymouth Yarn Toy Box Collection confetti yarn. You don't have to use this yarn. Any medium 4-weight yarn will work. This is a 100% acrylic, but like I said, any 4-weight will work. There's 240 yards per skein, and I'm going to say you're going to need about probably 175 yards maybe to finish this hat. And then you're going to need a size J, which is a 6mm crochet hook. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First off, we're going to start off with a slip knot on our hook. And we're going to work a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. Now you can use the magic circle here if you prefer. Just like that. And now we're going to chain 1. That chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Now we're going to be working through the center of the ring, and we're going to work 12 double crochets. So we're going to yarn over and go through the center of that ring, and you draw up a loop, and then you do your double crochet as normal. You want to do that 12 times. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I have done my 12 double crochets through the center of the ring. Now I'm going to end round 1 by slip stitching into the first double crochet that I made. And that'll end round 1, and you'll have a total of 12 stitches. Now, if you pull your tail, that should close up that center circle a little bit more, like that. Now we're going to start round 2, and we're going to start by chaining 1. Now remember that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We are going to work right there into that very spot that we slip stitched into, so right there. And we want to put 2 double crochets into that spot. So there's 1, back in the same spot, and there's 2. Now we're going to work around for round 2, and we're going to put 2 double crochets in every single stitch all the way around. So there's 2 in that one. Move to the next stitch, 2 into the next, and the next one, 2 into the next. And we're going to repeat this pattern of 2 double crochets in every stitch until we get back to our starting point. All right, I have made it to the end of round 2. And I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first double crochet. Not that chain 1. Remember, that chain 1 doesn't count as anything that we make. So we're going to go into the very first double crochet, and we're going to slip stitch, and that'll end round 2, and you'll have a total of 24 stitches now. Now we're going to start round 3 by chaining 1, and we're going to go right back there into that same stitch there, same spot that we slip stitched into, and we're going to put 1 double crochet into that spot. Now the next stitch is going to get 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So we go right to the next one and we put 2 doubles into the same stitch. And that's what we're going to repeat for round 3. So it'll be 1 double crochet into the next stitch, and then 2 double crochets into the next. One double crochet into the next stitch, and 2 double crochets into the next. And we're going to repeat this pattern of 1 double, 2 double, 1 double, 2 double, all the way around until we get back to our starting point. All right, I've come to the end of round 3. Now your last stitch should have had 2 double crochets in it, and you should have a total of 36 stitches now at the end of round 3. And we're going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into our first double crochet, like that. Now we're going to start round 4. We're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 1 double crochet right back there in that first stitch, like always, that we slip stitched into before. So 1 double, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet into the next stitch. And now the next stitch is going to get 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So that is the repeat for round 4. 1 double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 1 double into the next, 1 double into the next, and then the next stitch is going to get 2 doubles into the same stitch. And then we repeat that again. 1 double into the next stitch, 1 double into the next stitch, and then 2 doubles into the next. So round 4 is 1 double, 1 double, 2 doubles, 1 double, 1 double, 2 doubles. All the way around, we're going to repeat that until we get back to our starting point. All right, I've come to the end of round 4. Your last stitch should have 2 double crochets in it. You should have a total of 48 stitches now. And now we're going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into our first double crochet. Just like that. It's okay if it's curving up a bit. No big deal. It'll all lay flat in the end. Well, it'll all do what it's supposed to in the end. So now we're going to start round 5. We're going to chain 1. And we're going to go right back again into that same spot that we slip stitched. And we're going to do a double crochet. And then we're going to double crochet once into the next stitch. And then we're going to double crochet once into the next stitch. And then the next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So what we did was 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and then we put 2 double crochets into the next. So that's the repeat for round 5. 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So there's 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and then the next stitch you'll get 2 doubles into the same stitch. And that's what we're going to repeat for round 5. 1 double into the next 3, and then 2 doubles into the next. 1 double into the next 3, and then 2 doubles into the next, all the way around until we get back to our starting point. All right, I have come to the end of round 5. Your last stitch should have ended in 2 double crochets in that last stitch. You should have a total of 60 stitches now, and I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first double crochet. Now, this is where I stop increasing for the size of hat that I did. If you want to make yours bigger, you will want to do another row of increases, which would be 1 double crochet into the first 4 stitches and 2 doubles into the next. 1 double crochet into the next 4, and 2 doubles into the next, and you would repeat that all the way around. And when you got back to the beginning, you would have 72 stitches instead of 60. Now, if you are working on this for Lion Brand's hat knot height, either size will be acceptable. They want hats that are for adults, small adults, or regular size adults. So, but if you're making it for yourself and you want it bigger than small adult size like I'm making, of course you'd want to do that extra round of increases. Remember, it would be 4 singles in a row and then 2 double crochets in the next, all the way around, and you would have a total of 72. So I'm going to continue with my 60, but if you do that extra round of increases, you go ahead and do that, and then you would start this next row right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, this is going to start the repeat row for the rest of the hat, and you're always going to have 60 stitches now. Of course, unless you decide to increase, you'll always have 72. But following along with me, you're always going to have 60. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain 1, starting row 6. And we're going to do a row of a back post single crochet. So you can see right here where we start, there's the chain 1 and then there's the double crochet. We want to go around in between that chain 1 and that double crochet from the back and go around the post of that double crochet like that and single crochet. And we want to do that in every stitch all the way around. So again, go from behind the stitch around the post, that, and then do a single crochet, just a regular single crochet like that. Again, back post single, so you go around like that. That way the post is on the back of your hook, and then do your single crochet. And that's what we're going to repeat all the way around. Again, go from behind the post and then back around where your post is on the back of your hook, and single crochet. Back post single crochet all the way around in every stitch. Now it might look a little funny, like it's kind of rippling up. That's fine. It's going to look a little funny for a while. But in the end, it will look like mine. Or should look like mine. So I'm going to continue around, putting a back post single crochet in every stitch until I get to the end of round 6. Just like that. And that's kind of what it looks like. Alright, I've made it to the end of round 6, and it's okay, like I said, if it's curling up on you, that's fine. You can just flip it around like that. This is the time the hat will start going down and forming a hat. So you want to make sure that you have 60 stitches. And you'll see the ribbing right here. What we're going to do is we're going to end by slip stitching into our first back post single crochet. Now right here is my chain 1, and right here is my first back post single crochet. Slip stitch into that. Still should have 60 stitches, and as you can see, the back post single crochet made that rib on it. And now what we're going to do for row 7 is we are going to chain 1. Now we don't work in that ribbing. We work in these stitches right here, kind of on the back. See them now? When you look at it forward, these are the stitches that you're going to work in, not that ribbing. We don't touch that ribbing. It's just for decor now. So we're going to go ahead and put 1 double crochet right back into that very first stitch that we slip stitched into. It's just very important that you keep your count of 60 stitches, or unless you made it bigger, you would need to keep your count of 72. And I'm going to work 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. This is row 7, or round 7. 1 double in every stitch. You can see I'm working back here. I'm not working on that ribbing. That ribbing is just the decoration that the front post single crochet puts on. Oops. Drop that one. And that one. So I'm going to continue around for round 7, working 1 double crochet in every stitch all the way around. And as you can see now, you can see that ribbing is starting to show up more now because it sticks out there. So I'm going to continue round 7, 1 double every stitch until I make it back to my starting point. All right, I've made it to the end of round 7. I still have my 60 stitches, so I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first double crochet. Okay, now round 8, we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to work around a front post double crochet. So I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to do a front post double crochet around that first stitch. And I'm going to do a front post double crochet around every stitch all the way around. So the front post is you're making the post of the stitch on the front of your hook as opposed to the back, and then you just do your double crochet as normal around the post. And I'm going to work that in every stitch until I get back to my starting point. So you can see I go from like that and back through. The post is on the front of my hook, and then I would just work my double crochet as normal. And I'm going to continue this 1 front post double crochet in every stitch until I get back to my starting point. And that's what it's kind of starting to look like. Kind of gives it a little bit of a herringbone look, I guess. Zigzag. Slight. But anyways, we're going to continue around front post double crochet in every stitch until you make it back to your starting point. Alrighty, I've made it to the end of round 8. I still have my 60 stitches, and I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first double crochet. So that is the repeat rounds. Rounds 6, 7, and 8. So it's the back post single crochet, regular double crochet, and then front post double crochet. That's the 3 rounds that we're going to keep repeating until we get our hat as long as we want it to be. So for round 9, I'm just going to repeat what I did for round 6, which is the back post single crochet row. You just chain 1 and you work your back post single crochet in every stitch. It's just very important to make sure you keep your stitch counts accurate. My size that I'm doing now is 60. Of course, remember, if you chose to do the bigger size, you would have 72. So after I finish this round, I would repeat the round 7, which is just a round of regular double crochet. And then after that, I would repeat round 8, which is a round of front post double crochet. So I will keep repeating rounds 6, 7, and 8 until I get my hat as long as I need it to be. I'm going to repeat until I get a total of 19 rounds, and that is starting from round 1 all the way down to 19. If you made it bigger, you would want to go until you have 20, because you did that 1 extra round of increasing. And then once you get that many, I'll meet back up with you and we'll finish the hat off. All right, I have finished 19 rows, and that's starting from row 1 all the way down. And it was a row of regular double crochet after the back post single crochet. So I still have my 60 stitches, and I ended with the slip stitch there into my first double crochet. If you want to make yours longer, you can. You know, you can make this a slouchy hat by just continuing the repeat for as long as you want. You know, that's how you make slouchies, or just regular hats usually, and just to make them longer. Otherwise, you could try it on and see if it fits, but it's okay for me now. So what I'm going to do for row 20 is single crochet regular. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go back into that very first stitch there and do regular single crochet, not the back post single crochet. And I'm going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around until I get back to my starting point. Just like that. All right, I made it to the end of round 20, and I went ahead and slip stitch, or I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first single crochet. You'll still have 60 stitches here if you're following along with me, and I'm going to go ahead and tie off now. You can do more rows on your brim if you prefer. It's completely up to you. Now what I'm going to do is hide that tail, and we'll be finished. So just take your yarn needle. I like to hide it on the inside here, so just kind of weave it through that last row, single crochet, and then if you go back the other way, it'll lock it in place. Shouldn't come undone. I'm not going to say it won't, but it shouldn't. But once you get that done, you can clip that off, and then that's it. That's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. If you look over there on the right hand side, I'm going to put a playlist of all my crochet tutorials, because I have hundreds of tutorials, pretty much anything that you can think of. If you want to check them out, give it a go. And don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, have a good day.